Okay, Danny, so we fortunately have a boat in here that's got a little dock rash on it, and so we're going to repair it. First thing we're going to do is a little water, a little wet sanding with 2000 grit paper, and you can feel it when it's cutting, and because it's wet, because we're wet sanding, that helps keep the grit from getting loaded up on the paper. And we're taking off, just almost a microscopic amount of varnish right there. Okay, so now we've got a dull finish, but no big scratches in it, hopefully. Hopefully I've thinned it through that. So I have the first pad we're gonna mark it number 1, because you always put the same compound on the same pad. And we're gonna, if I put, I'm gonna put a finer compound on the number 2 pad. And if I have the coarse compound on the number 2 pad, it will never get, it will always be too coarse. It'll never clean up well enough to not have some coarse material in the pad. So we put together this kit for you. It's brand new pads. And then what I like to do is it's a 6-inch diameter pad, and I like to run it on a cordless right angle drill. I have about the most control that I'm gonna have with a cordless right angle. They make these in several brands. This one's a DeWalt. I really like the Ryobi really well. I've got the Ryobis. I like them so well, I've got them at my boat right now. So then we're gonna start with this 3M compound, the number 1 compound. And we're just gonna put some of this on the pad. Put the pad up here and rub it around a little bit. And then start polishing. Whoop. So we haven't taken it all out yet. I can see that I've still got some left, but so I'm gonna have to go through another. I'm gonna have to sand it again, and just till I get it all sanded out, sand it and polish it. Do a couple trial polishes until I get it all polished out, and that's how you get the dates, man, with the girls. So, but you've got the 2000 grit. If the scratch is really deep, you can go 1000 grit, and then come back. Go 1000 grit, 1500 grit, and then 2000 grit in your paper, and get cut to the bottom of the dock rash really quickly. And then it's all about, once you cut to the bottom of the dock rash, it's all about making the scratches finer and finer where they can't be seen by our human eye. And that's the trick. And really, I guess that's okay. What I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 stages here. The first stage, it takes out most of the polishing scratches. And I've already got compound on my buff pad. And this process can be done on your boat like next spring. If you look at your varnish and there's a particular part of the varnish that looks a little dull, you can just come back and basically do the same process. You don't even have to do the sanding, and you can bring a lot of luster back. So you can see I got most of it out. Not all of it. I'm gonna have to work a little harder on my sanding scratches right there, but it's mostly gone. So when you get it to where it's all gone, you want to get your scratch, the scratch size is a little smaller yet. So you put on this number 2 compound. Number 2 happens to have a black colored lid, which is kind of cool. And you put that on. And voila, you're there. Of course, we're not there because I have a little more scratch sanding to do. But for the purposes of the demonstration, we're there. We can rub this off. Make sure that when you grab a rag, there's no like sand in it or anything rough in it, metal shavings or anything like that, because, well, yeah, I guess it did do a pretty good job. It's out. There you go, Danny. How to get the dates with the girls.